Hey guys, Alison here. I am bringing to you an interesting chess game that I played recently. I think maybe, um, what was it? Oh, it was today. Okay, anyway. So I thought this was an interesting game which I want to show you. I want to show you another one later. But anyway, let's get into it. So I started with King's Pawn opening, and then I think this is Queen's Gambit. He accepted, and I just continued. I don't normally like to take with the queen here. Reason being is that taking with the queen, then the knight just develops and also attacks my queen. And normally people that play this just move the queen back, or they move the queen here, of which then, like eventually. Black would like to play this black pawn up so that the bishop comes out attacking this queen. So I don't really like having my queen out early, so that's why I just bring my knight out. So I brought my knight out. He wanted to defend. That's cool. This actually kind of really weakens this area. It's quite obvious now he shouldn't really be castling queenside. Anyway, I just developed, basic development, and now so by him bringing his knight out, I always like to play my knight here every time, regardless of whether this pawn is here or not, because the knight coming out here blocks the queen line. Anyway, so I just move my knight here, attacking the f7 square, classic move. He defends, pushes this pawn out, opens up development for his light square bishop. I of course decided I would take. He takes the knight back, and then I just decide put more pressure on the f7 square. And now he's in a little bit of a dilemma where I've got two attackers on his knight. He's got one defender, and I also have two attackers on this pawn here. So he came up with a pretty good move to defend. So bishop came down to defend, and then I just thought, well, let's just continue developing. I don't really want to like take my dark square bishop out, because this dark square bishop is already really preventing the queen coming down and taking this knight here. I also didn't really want to lose my attacker by just taking this bishop here. Taking this bishop would just really just be a swap, and I think my knight is pretty strong right now, so I just left it there. Now what he's done is he's preparing the castle, obviously, because I'm pretty menacing right now, and also attacking my knight. So he's got two attackers on my knight. Clearly I've only got one defender, so I should move this knight. So yeah, I decided I would just take, and in taking, he's forced to take back with his pawn, and my queen line prevents him from castling. So that's really what I wanted. I came down here, he went here, and then I decided that I would just, come over here, just preventing him from castling. Probably there might have been a better move, perhaps the queen just coming back down here. I really just wanted I wanted to trigger the G pawn push, really to further weaken his king side if he ever does castle. So yeah, I put this move in here. I don't think it was very good though, but yeah, I moved my queen to h6. Yeah, so his bishop came round, preventing my queen from coming down to this square. I mean, that wasn't really necessary. Like, for instance, I could have, sure, why not? I could have come here next, then bishop comes here, and then it makes, well, no sense for the queen to do anything. I'd be forced to come back here, and it'd be a pretty redundant move. So, anyway, dark square bishop moves to f6. I castled, and he just develops, and now I just attack his center pawn, which is kind of very weak at the moment. I would think he should push it, which he doesn't. I think what he wants is he wants to castle now queenside, which is probably the safest thing for him to do. I just decided I'm going to put further pressure on the e6 square by moving my queen down to h3. He castles, I take, and now things get really interesting. So when he moves his knight here, deciding I'm going to attack the bishop, I decided I would just take the knight. Now it's really interesting here. What he could do is quite obviously take the bishop. But if he takes the bishop, then my rook will take his bishop. So that's another thing as well. If my rook took his bishop, his queen is pinned to his king. Obviously, well, I don't think it's a good idea, but if my rook took his bishop, his queen would take my queen, and then when I take back, it stuffs up my king side. So I don't think it would have been very good for me to move my rook from where it was. Anyway, so yeah, me taking his knight, I'm not sure what he was doing. He decided he would unpin his king, perhaps. So he moved his king. I went and added further pressure, developed my dark squared bishop at the same time, now pinning his knight to his king over here. And yeah, he took. So I thought that was, I don't know, he made things a little easier for me in a way. When he took my light squared bishop, now he unpins my rook to my queen, so now it just makes sense for me to take his bishop. So I took his bishop. Keep in mind as well that his knight is still pinned to his king. So now he pushes the pawn. I just took his pawn. He can't take with the knight. He's forced to take with the queen if he wants to take back, which he does. And a couple of things I could do. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure about the order actually of which is better or if there's no difference. I don't think there's a difference. But yeah, I mean, I could take his queen. He could take back or do something. I would assume he takes back. So you take back, and then bishop takes knight with check. He could have that could have happened, but I decided I just take the knight first with check. So bishop takes knight with check. Keep in mind as well that if I move this rook, there is an attack on his dark squared rook as well on h8. Anyway, I check him. He moves his king, and of course I take his queen. And then now I have two attackers on his two different rooks. Obviously, it's in his best interest to take this rook here. And in a way, yeah, I pretty much just trapped his rook. So he can't move his light squared rook anywhere. Like, he can take the knight if he wants to. I don't see why he would want to. But really, I'm forcing a rook swap. What he could have done, though, is he could have moved his dark square rook over here to d8. And then it is really my choice as to which one I take. Obviously, I would still take because I'm up, let's see, 2 minor pieces as opposed to his 2 rooks. But yeah, he took back, I took, and here, I mean, like, what I wanted was I wanted to, rather than take this rook here, which is isolated already, it's undeveloped. So if I took this rook here, I'm in a way helping him out. So I wanted to take the already developed piece, so take the rook here. And what he could have done is therefore maybe align the rook over to here, have this nice open file, or just directly attack this bishop. But at the same time, he still needs to, in a way, defend this pawn. So he could have pushed this pawn here, perhaps. But again, I mean, that creates, I mean, my knight can come here, and then I can come here, check, and it can be very ugly because my knight coming here, check, forces his king into this file here, of which my bishop has an attack on b8. Anyway, that was the end of this game. He resigned at this point. Oh no, I won on time. This was a 5 minute game with no increments. But yeah, I thought this was really interesting. So hope you guys got something out of this. Feel free to leave a comment and on how you think I went. Cool.